Full time at the San Siro, Arsenal have lost to Inter Milan. Not the result we wanted at all, but the performance was a bit better than the one we saw against Newcastle. So I've just bookmarked a couple of tweets and we'll just talk about them. Let me know your thoughts on the things we talk about in this video. But yeah, let's just get into it. And the first thing we're going to look at is Arteta's reaction, really saying he's very proud of the players and talking about those penalty decisions, which I think were really unfair. If one is going to be a penalty, you have to give the other one. I've got the image here, punched with no penalty, ball lashes Merino's hand, penalty. Such incompetence in football. It really did baffle me, the one with, Sommer into the back of Merino. We've seen those penalties being given before. It's rash, he's nowhere near the ball, Merino's eyes are on the ball, he gets there first. There's so many factors which determine why that should be a penalty. Then you see the handball decision. Merino cannot do anything about it. Does he even know that the ball is in that area close to him? No. And this is why I don't like the Champions League. The handball decisions in terms of the Champions League are very harsh, but we've got to deal with it, I guess. We've got to sort of not allow decisions like this dictate the result of the game, and we did. I even looked at the XG from the game. They had 1.1 XG, which all came from the penalty. We had 2.25. So it shows we dominated the game. We had the opportunities. Havertz, I remember, Saliba has got to score his opportunity. There were chances in the game for us. Although this, it felt like a robbery and we can all moan about it, we've got to be honest with ourselves. We have to be putting our chances away and creating higher volume and higher quality chances. And I've got this other tweet here by Osman Ziguna talking about that game against Bayern away, where we didn't have the X factor. I remember Arteta saying we need the X factor on these sort of nights. It was all about, signing an attacker with the X factor. The attacker that had the X factor was left on the bench this afternoon, Raheem Sterling. We're going to sign him. He's got to be contributing in these games. So now it's making us feel like we didn't do enough in the window. Martinelli, I didn't think was poor by any stretch of the imagination. Saka, he was decent. He, did his best. There was a couple of quality moments from him, but not enough ultimately. But we need that X factor, and when your X factor, Raheem Sterling, is sitting on the bench, it's not a good look for the sporting director who's just left us Edu, and also not a good look for Arteta, focusing on the Marinos, the Calafioris, who are great players, but we know these nights are going to come, and how are we going to respond? We don't look like we have solutions for playing these teams like Inter Milan, the Bayern Munichs in the Champions League at the minute, and it's very disappointing. And yeah, this other tweet talking about the crosses we put in. We put a lot of crosses into the box, and meanwhile crosses can be really influential and can get you more goals. It just looked like we had no threat and bodies in there. Merino, who was taken off, he's supposed to be the player to add that box quality with crosses into the box, but he was taken off. I don't know why he was taken off. I don't know if that's an injury. Hopefully it's not an injury, because we cannot deal with another one of those. But the volume of crosses we put into the box and not creating a high quality chances from them is very worrying. And I think with Martin Odegaard back, I feel like we'll be more intricate and we'll feel like we don't have to do those sort of balls into the box. And of course, the biggest talking point was definitely Nwaneri. Let me know down below your thoughts on his performance. I thought he was absolutely incredible. The way he received that ball on the half turn and shot, I thought that was so much quality in that action. So unlucky. The confidence to do that absolutely spun his man. And it's so disappointing when you see 10 minutes, pity minutes given for players like this. I don't want to say it, but Lamine Yamal for Barcelona, we've seen he has the quality to perform to a high level. Barcelona, they trust him, they believe in him. They're able to look at him and be like, we can, put our faith in him because you're good enough. Arsenal should be in that position right now. It's a shame that Odegaard is back, because it will probably mean Nwaneri is not going to get another start till the Carabao Cup or, the FA Cup, which is not what you want to be seeing. But there was so much personality, as this tweet shows, and composure in those tight spaces. Odegaard, I feel like he can really complement Nwaneri against those low blocks. Could you imagine the both of them working together with Declan Rice sweeping behind? I know we all love Thomas Partey, but that trio, it just fills me with so much excitement. Nwaneri learning off Odegaard in those pockets as well. It's going to be a very good partnership. But I feel like in this run where we've lost so many games, drawn games, we should have seen Nwaneri given a lot more minutes. I really do think Arteta will look back at this and be like, I should have had a bit more personality, a bit more strength within me to make the decision and play Nwaneri, because Trossard in those pockets of spaces, I just cannot do it. He's really a great player, but Trossard is only influential in the box. You take him outside the box, he isn't as influential. He's not great in those spaces creativity wise. There's times where he's overhitting, underhitted passes, But maybe, you know, 17 years old is the big reason why Arteta's not throwing Nwaneri in, which would be quite disappointing. Then we look at the Opta Joe stats. You know, there was a lot of shots, but are these shots quality shots? That's the problem, you know. And you look at the squad, the players we have out there on the pitch, did it look like anybody was in a position to properly score? I earmarked the chance for Havertz, which was just a fantastic block by Bisek, who I thought was incredible for Inter Milan. You also look, I don't know, there was the Saliba chance, like I've said, very, very great opportunity. He's got to score that one. Outside of that, I don't know if it's just me going, you know, my memory is not serving me well, but I don't think there was many great opportunities in there. I really, really don't. And that is worrying for the amount of shots we did, the amount of crosses we did, that there weren't more high quality chances, to be honest. But was it a game we deserved to lose? No. Was it a game we deserved to win? No. Was it a game that probably a draw was going to be a fair sort of result, because Inter Milan weren't anywhere near our box? Look here, the red dots, the dots surrounding Inter Milan, you know, that just shows they hardly entered our zone. We're still strong defensively, and it is just, I think we have enough really to go and beat Chelsea. And of course, here by Mikel Arteta talking about that decision, punching in the head, you know, he was fuming with that. It was definitely a penalty for me, and being not given, it is not good. It is not good. But what can we say, you know, is we've just got to keep together. I still feel this team is good enough, even though we've not created the chances we've wanted to create it, even though we're crossing the ball a lot more. I feel like there's solutions in there, and I feel like we can trust Arteta. We've seen over the past, what, three, 4 seasons that Arteta can adapt and change. And I feel like going into Chelsea at the weekend, we will look really good. I feel like we'll put a really good performance in. There was signs to us being back to our best. And you know what? I'm just going to put what I would love to see against Chelsea. The team I think would go there and win. And I feel like in goal, it would definitely be David Raya. Then Timber left back, it's got to be Gabriel and Saliba together. Right back, it's got to be Ben White. The midfield three, Partey, Rice, I feel like both of them have got to play. Marino, for me, isn't quite in the rhythm, isn't quite ready to, you know, properly start. I feel like there was still times where he's a bit off. You can tell there's a good player in there, but I still feel like Partey and Rice is the trio. Then if Erdegaard is fit, you've got to unfortunately play him. But if he's not, definitely got to be Nwaneri. And you've got to go back to 4-3-3. Drop this 4-4-2 gimmick. Go to 4-3-3. Have Nwaneri in the pockets receiving the ball with his brilliant sort of manipulation of the ball. Have him in there. Try it. Risk it. I feel like he'll have a good game. Then on the right, of course, Saka. Through the centre, Havertz. Today was a bit better because we got to saw Havertz in those central areas. He looked a lot better. The touches he did was excellent as well. That concussion injury, hopefully that isn't too bad, because we will need him against Chelsea on the weekend. On the left, it's got to be Gabriel Martinelli. I don't feel like Trossard is in the right form to play that game. I thought Martinelli was actually pretty decent today, even though he didn't create much. He did attempt to beat his man. He beat his man a couple of times, got in some decent positions. He's there, but he's not there. Just keep the faith with Gabby, I feel like. But yeah, anyway, that's it for now. Let me know your thoughts on the game, and until next time, peace.